What's up, y'all? What's going on? It's your boy DJ Dubb from the Groovement, the smoothest DJ. Man, I don't know what else to say. I'm excited about this series, man. This series, you see the shirt, music gets me through. I'm your host, DJ Dubb. I got a special guest with me. This guy right here, Xandre, man. I'm so excited. It's my first guest, my first guy. And just knowing that how connected we are in such a short amount of time is such a blessing. So just to start this series off with one of my favorites right now, you know what I'm saying, musically and just a brother in Christ and a brother in general is definitely dope to start this series off. So before I get started introducing, before Xandre introduce himself, I really want to talk about, why this series came about and how this series came about. So we all know everything that's going on in this world. We know all of the trying times, all of the bad, all the bad, the good. Everything is changing. The world is changing. Things are, COVID came out of nowhere, and we had to adapt, right? So me as a DJ, I felt like I had to do something about it. I had to step up and actually DJ and do live events and actually go live on platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and other places just to bring the message across and let people know that, okay, music gets you through no matter what it is, music can get you through. You thinking that you're doing this on your own or this is going to be something where you're going to get through on your own. Like, no, from the grace of God and also the gift of music that God gave us that is helping us. That's one of the main tools that get us through. Also, too, music is very, very important. Is scientifically important. It's definitely helps you through any given time. Like again, good or bad, you could be in the most depressed state, and sometimes it takes you just a certain song that you need to listen to in order for you to push and keep you motivated and inspired to keep going. Because sometimes we feel like if we don't tap into our mental space of of being there for ourselves and doing things for ourselves, we kind of lean on to music or we lean on to people or we lean on to other things that can help us push. And music is one of them things. So that's why I love to interview people. I'm starting to interview people. I'm starting to interview artists just to get their perspective and get their opinions and listen to their story on what music has done for them and how it got them through. So it got me from going from behind the booth, DJing on the ones and twos, to coming from behind the booth to get on this mic and really talk and really have conversations with artists such as Xandre and talk to regular people. Like I see people doing interviews with, A-list people and B-list people. Like, it really takes the C-list people to get the A-list to where they at, right? It takes the C-list energy and the C-list problems and the C-list situations in order for the A-list to flourish, right? Not saying the A-list go through, B-list go through, they all go through, celebrities go through the same thing, but it takes a person that's in deep, desperate, dying need of music to take that A-list person to the next level far as streams and things like that. So I can go on for days, but let me introduce my guy. Xandre, I'm gonna tell him right real quick, Xandre, how I met you and how we connected, and then you can introduce yourself properly. But yeah, Xandre, man, this dude, we literally met. We met in person. We haven't met in person yet. We've met virtually. We met in person through and this is what I mean by we haven't met in person, because we haven't had a full conversation yet in person. We haven't had like an in-depth conversation, like a brother-to-brother conversation, or like let's sit down and have lunch type of conversation. We haven't had that yet. Long story short, me and him was in the same room and we didn't speak because it was an assignment that he received from God. And those are the type of boys and those are the type of brothers I need, right? I need those type of brothers in my life to know that because he obeyed and he was there on an assignment and he didn't speak to me. And for those that know me, for those that don't know me, I love people. People is my thing. People gets me going, just like music gets me going. People gets me going too. So it's like I always talk to everybody. I always say what's up to everybody, always laugh and joke with everybody. But the fact that he was on an assignment and I know I said something to him and he obeyed, it kind of gave me the idea of like, all right, this brother's for real. He's a Christian hip hop artist. He's also a graphic designer on the side as well, fire graphic designer. He does a lot of things, but he does work for God most importantly. You know what I'm saying? And the things that he poured into my life these past 4 months, it's crazy, bro. 4 months. We've been through a lot in 4 months. So just to know that in 4 months, far as connective communication and things that we've been through together is so dope. And then he'll tell you right now where he from and all that good stuff. So Xandre, talk to the people, man.
Hey, what's up, y'all, bro? Thank you so much for that intro. Man, yeah. My name is Xandre, from Brooklyn, New York. I'm a music artist, part-time, trying to do it full-time, but my side hustles is graphic design and marketing for now until I get there. But yeah, man, I'm not really good at introducing myself. People just, they just introduce me and they get to know me. I don't really have much to say. I just have more to show.
Boom. You see what I'm talking about, y'all? You see what I'm talking about? The stuff that he's really short of words, but he's very, very powerful. He really don't say much, but he definitely, when he speaks, he's one of those guys where you got to sit and listen and just just listen to what he's saying. So Xandre is that guy for me. So I mentioned earlier that he's a Christian hip hop artist. It was in January. So if you go on my Spotify.com, and wherever you listen to Spotify, or wherever you listen to any podcast platforms, I featured Xandre on my Groovement Hit of the Week back in January. Literally, he was my first artist that I featured for my Groovement Hit of the Week for the new year. So I did it for several weeks, just doing different artists. That's the Groovement Hit of the Week, and Xandre was one of the guys that was my first artist for the new year, and it was a song called Black Tears. But what really led to me was his song called Sharpshooter, and that song is so touching and so profound that I listen to it and I just sit there and I look at his face and the stuff, and I know that the things that he's been through. And then to know in person and know personally the stuff that he's been going through, it makes me feel that song even more, to know that like he's really been going through and music has been helping him and literally been getting him through. So just real quick, go check out Sharpshooters on YouTube. Go listen to it on all platforms. I promise you, to bless your heart, to bless your soul. It'll touch your soul, right? And those are one of the songs that gets me through. Is Sharpshooters. He also has a song 929. He has a lot of different visuals and stuff on YouTube. So go check out Xandre on YouTube. But Xandre, real quick, man, I have a question. What made you get into music, and what made you really stay in and use this gift of music or this anointing? Because I feel like there's a difference between the gift and anointing, and I feel like what you have is anointing when it comes down to music. And the message that you're spreading through your music. So what made you get started?
Yeah, man, glory to God for that, bro. But yeah, what made me get started, that was literally the only place that I knew that I was heard. I started off with the poems, and then the poem that I wrote was a suicide note to my mom, which became Sharpshooter, which was, the song that you were talking about earlier. And that's what led to my music career. I felt like I finally had somebody who was able to hear what was going on in my mind, in my heart, in my spirit. And I've always been short of words, but when it comes to music, I have a lot to say. So, yeah, that's the place where I feel comfortable speaking more, and I feel like people actually listen to what I say.
Yeah, and I was listening. I was definitely listening, and then when I heard your story after, I was like, yeah, like I just can't believe the stuff that you were going through, literally as you were making that video, right? As you was making the video, and to know that you were really going through, and you were depending on music to get others through. You wasn't just selfish and thinking for yourself. You were also thinking about, how can I get this to the world, and how can I get other people to tap in and to feel this music just as much as it's helping me, in my season. So, because at least that's how I feel. That's how it went. Because it's amazing to know that when you're writing music, man, what space do you have to be in? What space are you in when you're writing your songs and things like that? What type of space you have to be in? Where you have to, like, do you have to be in a certain space or a certain spot, or does it just come to you like that? Like, or how does it work out as an artist?
It's a good question. It depends on the song. So, happy songs, I would have to be in a happy mood. Most of the songs that have been released, well, written, I haven't released them yet, but some of the songs that people will be hearing soon happen in the instant of a moment. Like, literally, I wrote the song right after the situation happened. So I'll just give this one. I don't have a release date just yet, but there's a song that I'll be releasing soon called Anchored. And that song was written because I was going through it, had dealt with sharpshooter, and I just released sharpshooter, and now I'm still at home with my parents, recovering from the illness that I had. And my dad became the sharpshooter this time. It's like the spirit that is transferred over, and just now it evolved to a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And so that's how Anchor came about. Like, he yelled at my sister, and I just remembered God just telling me, like, no matter the storm, no matter what you're facing, you have to remain anchored in his character, remain anchored in what he requires in the season, in the situation. So I can't act how I want to act by reflex. I have to be, who God called me to be in the moment, and just take it as it is, and find a different way to go about it. And so instead of lashing out like most people would, I just wrote a song, and it came to me.
So because I see, it sounds like you're having a history of whatever you go through, you just write it down and you make a song about it.
Yeah, that's always been my history, bro. Like, even since the poems, like, for instance, DMX, God help his soul, in the hospital right now, but he was literally the inspiration behind me creating music, because that was the guy that spoke in songs and it sounded like prayers, you know what I'm saying? And I resonated with that. I was like, yo, this dude is not even rapping, it's poetic. And that's what people resonated my raps to. So I was like, yo, I'm like another DMX, but in my own way. And so I just took, I didn't take his style or anything, but I just took him as a huge inspiration, and that guidance in the music world. And I was like, if he could write like that, I could write like that. And seeing the trajectory of how he grew as an artist was just, a whole nother story in itself. But
yeah, man. Definitely. We definitely pray that DMX gets through. He pulls through. They doing a lot for him right now. And if y'all don't know DMX, or if you do know him, y'all know how spiritual he is and what type of attacks he's been under for years. I was just listening to an interview that he did, and funny cat, man, funny cat. But he also would remind people, like, hey, God is still with me, but I still got some devils on my back too. Still, you know what I'm saying? After all these years, he's still fighting, he's still battling. So just to know that, he's still transparent about that. All right, I think I'm this rah type of guy, but God still controls me. You know what I'm saying? And God still loves me. And it just a month ago, he had an interview where he was just like, literally, God is the center. You know what I'm saying? And God is more present now than ever. And look what happens now that God is more present. Look what happens, So I kind of, we just gotta pray for him and keep him in our prayers. I got a question for you, man. So looking through, far as music wise and how music is helping. I had some questions, man, and definitely I gotta write it down because I'm in the season of, real men don't catch feelings, we write them down. So I just started practicing myself of writing things down and getting things going. So instead of me trying to forget or thinking that I'm okay or being prideful, like, nah, I'm gonna remember these. Nah, I want to make sure, because these questions are so important that I want people to understand from an artist perspective, right? So the question is, like, and it's crazy, you just answered it, right? You just answered it, because my question was, who inspired you in music? That was my first question. So to know that DMX is one of the guys that inspired you in music, man, I remember a video just looking at him surrounded with other people like Diddy, with other celebrities, and they wanted him to pray. You know what I'm saying? Hey, stop what you're doing. We all need to pray. You know what I'm saying? And they wanted DMX to lead the prayer. In spite of what DMX do and what everything that he's been going through, they wanted him to lead the prayer. That goes to show how powerful and how spiritual he is. You know what I'm saying? He's just fighting some things that help that I pray that he can get through. So that was the answer, right? DMX. DMX is one for you. All right. So your second question is so you know that I have this group by faith story, right? The group by faith story. What is it? What is the group by faith story for me is things that have been happening to me lately. I just been grooving by faith, literally been DJing and dancing through this thing and playing music for other people. Just a short story of what's your group by faith story, like your group by faith and not by fear. What is your group by faith story with? And you can refer to music or just anything in life. What is your quick group by faith story? You're muffled, bro.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Yeah. When you say group by faith, are you saying like dancing through the adversities, so to speak, or like?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, what are you doing through the adversity? Like, how you moving through the adversity? I just use groove because that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? So we all know the quote is live by faith and not by fear, right? We live by faith and not by sight. So I just end up saying group by faith and not by fear. Yeah. But what is your group by faith and not by fear story? Especially in the times that we're living in now. You could do it musically or just in person. How's it helping you, and what's your story, real quick?
Yeah, man. So I'm seeing that for me, it's more so just creating for others. In a time where I'm not able to create for myself just yet, as far as like resources and environment, etc. Me creating for other people keeps me in a creative space. It just makes me feel like I'm actually doing something, like I'm doing what I'm called to. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm still doing what God has called me to because I'm assigned to these people's, visions and stuff, and I bring them to life. It's one of my gifts. So, yeah, my group by faith is just creating for others, not myself.
Love it, man. I love it. Love it. You also, and I'm gonna go left real quick and go off this music gets me through because I really want to promote what you just did last month with your 21 perspectives. And I really want to talk about. I really want you to talk about that because you literally, and I'll be honest with you, this always been on my mind. As far as music gets me through, I've been wanting to do this since last year. In March of last year was literally the time because I have March into Your Groove and all this other stuff. But music gets me through is something I really want to do for a long time. And then when you came up with your 21 perspective, that really like put it in perspective for me to get it done. Right? You inspired me to really, really do that. Right? I don't think I ever told you that. You really inspired me to do what I needed to do here. When I looked at your 21 perspectives of talking to other people and asking other people how they feel and their story, you know what I'm saying? What's their perspective and their pain and the things that they were dealing with, and to know that things are going on in this world and you're trying to get information from them. I'm doing this on a music level, and you're doing it just based off of a personal journey for someone. So just real quick, man, let the people know about 21 perspectives real quick, and let them know how did you get that going, and how people can really tap into their pain, because it seems like that's what you was doing for other people, giving them a breakthrough in the middle of their story or telling their story. They broke right through, and you can see it. Like some people were very emotional. So, we had some emotional episodes. We had some laughter. We had a lot of things that went on during these 21 days of the 21 perspectives. So talk to the people real quick about that, man.
Yeah, man. So 21 perspective was based off of the beginning of the year in January. So I started off the year. I just felt like I was not where I needed to be relationally with Christ spiritually. I felt like I was just off. I just felt like I wasn't grounded in my faith, and so I felt like I lost sight, not necessarily lost sight, but lost soundness of just hearing him, hearing from him, and so I was just like, man, okay, I need to do something about this. So I went on to a 21-day fast. I joined a group of brothers. Shout out to the band of brothers. And we went on the fast, and that's when God gave me 21 perspectives. He was like, I already gave you 21 people throughout the course of the time you're battling the disease, to guide you to, always, these are your guiding lights. These are the people that you can always go to or look at their stories and see how I've answered in times that you feel like I'm not answering you. So I was like, wow, thanks God. And so yeah,
thanks God. Thank you.
right? I was like, wow, thanks God, and I was like, yo, let me just create an event with this. And then, I was like, all right, so I don't want to just take this revelation for myself. I got to share it with the people, because if I'm going through something, there's definitely somebody out there going through the same thing. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to create 21 perspectives. So now I'm going to share the same 21 people that God has sent my way, so that now when they attend this event, they have 21 people that they've heard stories from. And if they ever feel like they got to stand still with God, they know that, okay, well, I remember that story of that person, and this is how God answered for them. So, every story has a different way. I don't know if there's 21 different ways that we'll ever have in our lives where we can't hear from God, but that's more than enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Wow.
yeah. And if people want to tap into that, they can just go to Xandre Music on YouTube, or just type in 21 Perspectives, Xandre Music, and they'll see it pop up.
Man, I'm telling you, I was so glued in, and I was so interested in what people had to say in their story, because I understand. A lot of people don't understand people until you hear their story, right?
Yeah.
You kind of misjudge people. You kind of like think what that person is thinking, or what it is saying, or what's their real motive behind what they do. Until you hear their story, and then you're like, okay, it makes sense, right? Until I heard your story, I was like, all right, it makes sense why he did sharpshooters, right? Until it made sense, until he came up, oh, this is what 21 Perspectives is really about. Let me really tap in and listen in, because that's where I was at, where I wanted people to know that I'm just a DJ. I'm not just a DJ. So I know for you, it's like, I don't want people to know that I'm just a artist. Like, there's other things I can do. Like, I actually go through things. I actually have a story. There's other people that have stories too. So I feel like that was really, really dope, man. So I have another question for you, my brother. Who is Xandre?
Who is Xandre? Xandre is exactly what it means. Xandre means warrior, defender of people, and not just defender of people, but defender of kingdom people. Defender of the people who are called to God. And I don't know. I'm still learning who I am, man. I'm unlearning a lot of who I was and becoming who I need to be, and who I'm called to be. So it's a process. You guys are learning in real time with me, and this is why I'm doing it, transparently, because it's something I can't. It's hard to keep something like that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really teaches about how to learn, or their true process. Everybody sees the wins, and people tend to show the losses, but they don't really show the losses. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, even through my 21 perspective, purpose of my disease, and showing people that they have purpose in everything, I showed like how I was, like skin and bones. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's people. You know what I'm saying? That's real taking L's, but I just flipped it and turn it into a lesson, so to speak. So, yeah, that's who Xandre is.
Yeah, Xandre is a warrior for sure. And again, you got to go into the 21 Perspective, and you also got to listen to Xandre's story to really understand what he means by being a warrior. And it's crazy how parents gift their child with a name, and then they literally got to go through it. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even give credit to my mom for this name, bro. It's all God, man. Because my mom called me Terrence. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what Terrence means, but that was inspired by her favorite soap opera character or something like that.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay, breaking news.
Breaking news. Yeah, but Xandre, God actually gave it to me, and I was looking for my rapper's name. I had different names. I was T Breezy, I was Grandmaster T. I was
Wait. Hold on. So Xandre, okay, guys, look, this is new to me right now.
yeah.
So Xandre is a gift from God. So that's a artist name.
Yeah, it's kind of like in the Bible we have what is it, Saul and Paul or something like that. Like the
Right.
different, right?
Right.
You have the name when you was a sinner, and then the new name when you are of him, of Christ. So Xandre is the name that he's given me, and yeah.
So you technically burned Terrence and you just Xandre now.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the only people that really call me by my first name is like my sister or my close relatives. But
Wow.
other than that, people still respect it. They still call me by Xandre, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's in my last name. You know what I'm saying? I was asking God. I'm like, God, like which one is my name? Like, and He just telling me, I already given you the name. It's in your destiny. It's imprinted in you. It's your name. And I was like, okay, Alexandre. And he was like, yeah, just take out the ALE. I was just like, wow, okay. So I was like, yeah, I like the way it sounds. When I looked it up, I saw what it meant, and I'm like, at that point when I discovered it, I'm like, I don't think I'm a warrior. But then I soon found out. So, yeah.
So bam, guys. Yeah, I thought that it was just something that it was a name from the start, from the beginning.
Oh no.
But obviously, no, it was a name that God really gave him. And let's talk about the other names. What was the other names you had? Team what?
Man, T Breezy.
T Breezy.
Yeah. That was back when the Chris Brown was like, super popping. Everybody was calling themselves Breezy and Soldier Boy and
Breezy.
all this other stuff.
Facts.
Yeah, it was I went through so many different names, bro. Yeah.
I remember in New York, like going through different going through schools and stuff like that. They had different teams. So you would be like, I'll be like youngest in charge. I was in youngest in charge group, and then they had TLB or LLC or MBF or you know what I'm saying? Like you had different teams, and I was like on 20 different teams. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like back in those teams and Soldier Boy days and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But yo, at what point in your life? What point in your life did music is healing for you?
Say that one more time.
At what point of life did you realize music was healing for you? At what point in what point in life?
When I realized that it was all I had left to to exude, to put out. What do you do when you have nothing else to do but just what comes natural?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you got to use the only tool that you have. Like when I was down and out, and I just remember being skin and bones and just laying in bed at 90 or 80 pounds, not being able to do anything and seeing everybody, on Instagram, seeing everybody just living their best life. All I had to do left was just to write out my pain. I didn't have anything else to put out. You know what I'm saying? So by me putting it out and releasing my pain and sharing it with other people and seeing how it's impacting their lives, I was healing through that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Because I'm telling you, just a thought, just to know that you literally in real time that your songs that came out, it literally came from things that you were going through at that moment, like right there in real time, is so dope, man. Another question, man. Why music? Why music?
I don't know. That's a question for God. Because, like, literally, I've tried everything else, and it's just, I'm good at whatever I touch, but when I touch music, it's just different. It's not the same. It's just like for you with DJ, you could try basketball, whatever, you might be good, but when you touch the, you know what I'm saying, when you mix the tracks and you do transitions, you just feel different. You just see the impact it has on the world. You just feel like it's just that acceptance with, I don't know, like with the universe. You just feel aligned, like you're doing what you're called to.
Right.
And so it's the same with me with music. Like I tried basketball, I tried a lot of different things, even graphic designs. Like I do it now, and I feel I feel like I'm doing it. The people I'm doing it for I'm meant to, but like it doesn't hit the same when I do music. So
that's awesome, man. What's your go-to music to get you going? What is your go-to music besides yourself, besides your own music? What
I
is your
don't even
go-to?
listen to my own music, bro.
You don't listen to your own music?
No, I put it out and that's it. It's like if people need me to perform it or whatever, that's cool. I'll do that. But I don't sit there like listening to my songs and stuff.
So like
I probably
you're not
I would
into like
listen.
listening parties and stuff. You don't.
I mean, hey, if I have to do it, I'll do it. But like, I don't sit there and just listen to my own music unless I'm trying to study something for myself. Like, if I'm trying to be like, all right, I'm about to put out another EP or something, I need to know like how can I improve? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like homework for me. It's not so far just to, like to listen, and unless I'm going through something, like like these new songs that I wrote. If I wrote them in a moment, I'm feeling something, and I feel like I'm going through a time period where I'm living that situation again, it gets me through. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a song called "Good Enough." I didn't really promote it too much, but it was a time when I was feeling like I was not good enough. If I ever, feel like I'm not good enough again, I will go back and listen to it because
Mm,
it was real to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I wrote
wow.
that, and it's just kind of a reminder to myself, like in the future, wherever time frame in life that I'm in, that you are good enough. You know what I'm saying? You gave it your best, and yeah, just move on. So
Wow. That's deep, bro. That's
yeah,
deep. So because I was like that too in the beginning where I wasn't a big fan of my own mixes and my own songs that I would do. But it's crazy. Even today, um, today, April 6th, I was me and my wife, we went out to run errands and I just ended up turning the volume up in the car. And what was playing was one of my very first mixes I made back in the beginning of 2016. That's one of my very first mixes because I brought my first mixer in February 2016,
wow,
right?
yeah,
And my first mix I put on the CD. That's when I started giving out to people for CDs and stuff.
mhm.
And I literally turned the volume up today, and one of my mixes was playing, and I like wow, like it really brought me back to I came a long way. You know what I'm saying? And I was always that person where I don't want to dwell in the past. I don't want to think about the past. I really don't care about the people that was, behind in my past. But sometimes you got to go into that and really listen to yourself. You know what I mean? And like you listen to yourself as an artist, listen to myself as a DJ, and just actually see that man, things are much better than what they are. You know what I'm saying? And we are progressing as people. You know what I mean? Because we're more than just an artist. We're more than just a DJ. Like we're actually people. So we're really progressing from that. So that always give me that humble spirit of um, if I ever think that I'm too ahead of myself, then like you said, I will go back to that first mix, or I will let other people. Every time I feel like I'm too much of myself, I would promote my first mix that I ever did. I would promote it and put it online, like, hey, just to let y'all know, if y'all think that, yeah, sometimes you need to humble yourself, and I'm humbling myself right now by showing you this first mix. You know what I'm saying? And coming a long way from that. There's people that ask me too, hey, how you doing far as mixes and how you create your mixes? And I always give them my first mix. You gotta listen to that. So I went from not doing it, not listening to myself to be like, all right, I need to listen to myself in order for me to, get my foot, keep my foot on the gas,
Hmm.
but don't fully hit the brake, if that makes sense.
Right, yeah, makes sense.
Um, yeah, man. So one thing that I wanted to ask, and it's not on here, but it came into my mind.
Mhm.
Just fill in a blank, bro. Music is what?
Music is reflection. You
Mm,
know, I think music there it's many things, bro. Like it's not only reflection, but it's also it's our time machine. Like literally, it's like if you're able to take pictures of sound. Um, like if you're able to take a picture of them, like you have pictures, you can take a picture for a moment. But if you were able to actually take the picture of the environment in that moment, that would be music, bro. Literally,
mm,
like what I'm saying? Like we literally are able to, like old Xandre back in 2010 compared to Xandre now. Like if I wanted to just be able to communicate with my old self and hear the pain that I was feeling at that moment, all I gotta do is press play.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's
All
the
right.
same. That's how I see it. For at least the real music, the music that we hear nowadays. I don't know what we're gonna think in 10 years from now, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying. With
Right.
the music we
Right.
have now, we have timeless music. You know what I'm saying? You could listen to some Marvin Gaye or whatever it is, and you're just like, you're just feeling that thing, man. You're feeling like you know what I'm saying? Like you feeling everything he was dealing with at that moment or whoever wrote it. But yeah, that's how I see it, man.
Man, that's good. Music is reflection, y'all. That's how it feels for Xandre. Music is reflection. Also, you let us know too what music is for you. Type it in the comments or whatever, and let us know what music is for you. Also, these questions that I'm asking Xandre and I'm asking these other artists and people, you can put in the comments too. Let me know what you think and give me your answer on these questions that I'm giving. Because again, I'm so interested in hearing people's stories that I'm so used to us working, you know what I mean? But I'm always the one after we work. I want to talk to you after. You know, when I used to travel and go to conferences and stuff like that, I used to love after the conference. I used to speak to people for hours, just listening to people's story. Yo, how did you get here? What made you come here? Just asking these questions besides just leaving and calling it a day. You know what I'm saying? I was just always so used to people and interested in what they had to say when it comes down to their story. So we're gonna loosen up real quick.
Yeah.
Right. I need your top five musical artists. What's your top five goats?
No,
Your top five goats.
My top five goats.
It don't have to be in any order or anything like that. What's your top five goats?
I would say I'm a lyricist, man. I like words, so I'd say Nas, Lupe Fiasco, Kanye, X, DMX. That's four so far, right?
Four.
And man, last one I have to say Biggie, man. Biggie was slick with the words, bro.
I'm glad you threw New York in there.
Yeah.
I'm glad you threw New York in there. So lyrics, because I've been on this thing. Lyrics matter. You know what I'm saying? And music is so important, and lyrics is so important. I'm a lyrical guy too, man. I just love lyrics. Like one of my big lyrical guys is Jadakiss. Love Jadakiss, man.
Yeah. That's not crazy.
His pain, like the pain in his music is, whew, you know what I'm saying? And I just love the things that he says. Man, I could lie to you, man. I've been on lately just trying to figure out people's story within their music. I think that's why God really led me to you, because I'm so interested in that. You know what I'm saying? I'm so interested in listening to someone really going in on a beat and talking about their life without talking about the next person's life or talking about what's top 10 on a Billboard charts right now. You know what I'm saying? So and to know that someone is really going through and they really like tunneled into their craft, I think it's so dope. So just so much respect to you. Salute to what you do, man, as far as giving the people your story, because it takes a real man to tell your story.
Yeah, man.
Right? It takes to understand who you really are as a person. Who you really are as a person. It could go any way, but the fact that you're still continuing to be this person and continue to be your authentic self for other people. Being you for other people is amazing. So real quick, man, let the people know where they can find you again. If you have any before we do that, I have an artist, right? I have a young artist.
Okay.
That wants to pretty much serve. He wants to serve. He wants to serve the world. Like he wants to serve the world, but through music, right? What are some things that you can tell this artist that he has it in him? He knows exactly what he wants to do. He knows exactly where he's at. He knows what he needs to do to get to the world and to change the world with other creatives, other talents, other artists. But he just starting out. What are some things that you can help this artist do, and some advice you can give him or her?
So what the advice I give is you have to understand why You know, if you don't find the answer within yourself, then what answer are you putting out into the world? Um, you know, it's that simple. Because if you're just constantly just saying, okay, I have it in me, and then you're just going after it, you're going to be challenged. You know what I'm saying? Life is not going to just let you breeze through and just let you reach your purpose that easily. It's going to
All right.
challenge you, and then you have to discover the answer. And when you're able to discover the answer, then you can rise above those challenges. You know, it's like an eagle can't fly until it learns how to spread its wings, right? And to be able to spread your wings, there's a lot of things you have to learn. You have to learn about yourself. And you have to also learn about your environment. You know, if do you need a certain amount of steps before you take off? Like, there's different things to it. So learn yourself, learn your why, and then be relentless at whatever you got to do to get there. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, be wise. Don't be crazy. Don't do nothing crazy. But you know, if you're a man of God, then I would say let God guide you. And if you're not, then you need to become man of God. I don't know,
Right.
I don't know what you're doing. But.
Right. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're out here for. I don't know what you're doing.
Right.
But what, man, I'm looking at your hoodie, bro. I'm looking at your hoodie, and it's speaking to me, dog. It's speaking to me, and I know people that's probably gonna watch this is speaking it to them too. What does that sweater and that hoodie means to you? What does that mean? What does that mean to you, bro? Why are you wearing that hoodie?
So I made this hoodie because this was my you know, people have their words of affirmations or their word of manifestation or whatever that is you want to call it. This is mine. You know, it's my key reminder that you know, after everything I've been through, no matter what the enemy tries to remind me, you know, with the suicidal thoughts that I battled in the past, you know, I'm gonna be real. Like, and nobody ever, I don't think anybody honestly ever fully recovers from suicidal thoughts. It's just a continuous battle. You just get stronger and you're able to obviously, you know, block out the enemy from bringing those things in. But this is my key reminder to myself and to other people who wear it, that you will not die. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless, even if you actually do die in the physical, spiritually, you will forever live. We have people, you know, think about the lights, right? I have these lights on in the room that I'm in right now. Somebody died, but he is still living through what he created. So
Mm.
it's the same with music. You know, we have all these things in that we have around us. Somebody created that, and they're probably no longer here. So regardless, you know, the meaning behind death and the way people want to portray it, this is what it stands for: is that you will not die, that you will live, and live a prosperous life.
Mm. Close us out, man. Where people can find you, man. Where they can find Xandre, man. Where can they look for your music? Where can they look out? You know, can they where can they press the bell on the notifications for your new single that you just
Yeah.
broke out? Man, I wish I had my air horn. You just
I don't even have. I'm the say. Hey, I ain't saying single broke out yet. It's
no.
only there.
I'm just saying. Where can they press the notification so when it happens,
Oh, okay.
they're ready
Yeah,
for it?
yeah. So if you want to just look me up, it's Andre Music on YouTube. Is Xandre, the same way spelled right now on the screen. And if that's not easy for you to find, then you can just go to www.xandremusic.com and everything will be there.
Absolutely, yo, Xandre, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you for your
Appreciate you, bro.
time.
Thank
Um, I will not die either. I shall live and not die. And just to know that music is bringing us through, and just to thank you for providing your story through music, helped me for sure. So I know it helped so many people that it touched, and I know it's going to touch so much more down the road. So for y'all people that's been here with us throughout the whole interview, appreciate you guys for watching, tuning in. Again, this is a Music Gets Me Through series hosted by your boy DJ DDubb, the Groovement. If you want to follow me, you can follow me. It's the Groovement _, on Instagram, on Facebook. If you're here on YouTube, just click that subscribe button. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, however you feel. You can like, dislike. Again, we all have our opinions, so we love to hear that too. So, but just as a series of Music Gets Me Through, if you have a story that you want to tell, make sure you can type it either in the comments, or you can send me a direct message on either Instagram, or you can send me a direct message through my email at itsdjdjddubb.com. It's going to be in the description box below. Also, too, you have your Group by Faith t-shirt. You see it on the screen. You see it behind me. Get your Group by Faith tees. Invest in your shirt today. What's your Group by Faith story, right? Xandre told you his. Mine is simply whatever I have going on in my life, music is getting me through, and also I'm grooving by faith. Literally, I just replaced move, and I just added groove, and just to know that by faith we're gonna get through, and by fear, it's not gonna do us any justice if we live by fear. It's not gonna help us out. It's not gonna push us to the greatness that God is calling us to be. But if we move by faith, just as that small faith is gonna push us through and punch us through any wall or move any mountain that's gonna be in front of us. All right. So this is D-Dubb. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Check out the ones on the replay. Look at y'all. Check y'all out. All right. This is D-Dubb. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Peace.